This is Super Yacht News with E. Sisman.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. So there were dramatic scenes yesterday in Turkey as the Turkish Coast Guard gave chase to and fired upon a vessel registered in the US carrying a US flag. Now, the yacht, which was a 27-meter or 88-foot yacht, is named Motor Yacht Bolger and was sailing from a marina or nearby marina called Yalıkavak Marina, which is near Bodrum. It's actually, coincidentally, it's very near where Motor Yacht Solaris is at anchor right now. Anyway, the vessel left there in the evening and it was headed to an unknown destination. Now, the Turkish Coast Guard received a tip that the vessel was being used to carry illicit substances. So the Coast Guard went out to intercept the vessel. Now, initially they called the vessel by VHF and told them to stop moving. The vessel ran and the Coast Guard gave chase. When this happened, the Coast Guard said that the vessel was trying to head to Greek waters out of the Turkish territory. And the Turkish actually at one point opened fire on this yacht, causing damage to the yacht. And then when they caught up to the yacht, which was still fleeing, they rammed the yacht in order to get the vessel to stop. The Coast Guard boarded the vessel and arrested 4 men on board, and they confiscated packages that they say was filled with drugs. Now, the vessel was towed back to a marina after this happened. The vessel's been arrested. Everyone on board has been arrested. All of the video footage you're watching right now, actually, which shows extensive damage of this yacht, they're from a Turkish news website called milliyet.com.tr. But you can see in this footage here that the vessel was really extensively damaged there. But it's not beyond repair, I don't think. But the people who were on it that night certainly won't be repairing that yacht because they've all been arrested. Will probably be spending a considerable amount of time in prison if they're convicted of carrying those drugs. So what will happen to that yacht? Most likely the vessel will be sold if it's repairable, or maybe sold as scrap even. But I think it could be repaired. But that is quite extensive damage on that yacht there. Okay, I finally got contacted by Imperial Yachts. You remember in the previous videos, we talked about Imperial Yachts leaving Monaco or being asked to leave Monaco, and the owner of the company, Yevgeny Kokman, had traveled to Turkey. Now, I got a statement from Imperial, so I'm going to read it and then we'll talk about it. So this is the statement. It says, your recent coverage culminating in today's video is materially incorrect and potentially defamatory. It's always a bit of a threat in one of their statements. It says, number one, Imperial Yachts remains incorporated in Monaco. Number two, Imperial Yachts has not been asked to leave the Principality by any authority. Number three, the website you referred to, Imperial Yachts Antalya, has no connection with Imperial whatsoever, either directly, indirectly, or otherwise. This is a false site set up to impersonate Imperial, and our lawyers are engaged in dealing with that. And number four, please note the very real impact inaccurate posts and comments can have on the crew and their families working in the industry, particularly the additional burden this may place on the local authorities who may have to deal with the fallout this causes. I don't know what that means, but I would say that the company being sanctioned will have a bigger impact on the people that they mentioned at the end of that statement. Now, on the first point, I can confirm that the offices that they were using in Monaco, they are no longer using. They've moved out of those offices. Now, they're saying that they're still incorporated in Monaco. That does not necessarily mean they are still in business in Monaco, right? Also, we tried very hard to get in touch with Imperial before we went live with the video. We used email addresses, Instagram accounts. We contacted them everywhere we could. Used the force, carrier pigeons, etc. And I couldn't get a reply until a couple of days ago. And another thing that's interesting about the statement is it doesn't deny the fact that Mr. Kokman has left Monaco and gone to Turkey to set up shop in Turkey. So yeah. So anyway, that's their statement. So we'll leave it there. So moving on to the next story. This is quite a funny one actually, because in the last video we talked about Montias Axioma being sold in a one-day auction by the Admiralty in Gibraltar. And I said that it was the way they said it was being sold, as is and where is. I said it kind of sounded like an eBay auction when people say no returns, etc. And I put up a fake eBay auction that I'd made myself in Photoshop for a bit of a joke, bit of tongue in cheek. But it actually caused a few people out, because I had quite a few people contact, not that many, but I had a few people contacting me asking me for a link to the eBay auction. I just want to clarify, there is no eBay auction for that yacht that I know of. I did that as a bit of a joke because of what I was talking about. It would be interesting to see it in an eBay auction, wouldn't it? Now, sticking with that content, actually, the yacht, I had quite a lot of questions about what happens to the money after the sale of the yacht. Well, firstly, the money goes to the Admiralty Court in Gibraltar, and then they will pay JP Morgan, who put the lien against the yacht. They are owed over $21 million, apparently. So that's where the biggest chunk of money will go. Now, we don't know how much it's going to fetch, right? The vessel's allegedly worth about $70 million. I don't think it's going to go anywhere near $70 million. I think there's going to be very limited interest, or very limited interest in terms of people who can afford and who have the willingness to buy a yacht like this. But I might be wrong. It will be interesting to see. But after that, now that yacht's been there since March. So there's a lot of mooring fees, a lot of fees for Gibraltar. The crew on board haven't been paid. I would imagine they haven't been paid. And they will have probably been contracted by, now this is a guess again, because it's very hard to find out this information for sure, but I believe that the crew will have had to have been paid by the authority in Gibraltar, and so they'll be paying off all of those debts, you know, for all of the different things that have happened there. Maybe they've had fuel, mooring fees, electricity, all that kind of stuff. So I don't think there'll be a lot of money left over after they pay JP Morgan and all of those fees that we discussed. Will be interesting to see what the vessel goes for. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a poll on the YouTube channel, and I'll come up with a series of different figures, and you can vote on which value you think it will reach in that auction. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. If you have any information about any of the stories we've covered tonight, you can contact us through the About page of YouTube. You can contact us through Instagram. You can contact us through Facebook Messenger. And you can also get us through Threema, which is completely anonymous. You can scan this barcode on the screen, or you can type in the code below, and you can get through to us. Be sure to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell for future notifications. All right, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.